All right, Eli.
Shapata. You sure? Slovakia. No way. This early in the morning. Salam.
La Yasharala, which means to Israel.
You got it. Shapata. No sign, Chris.
All right, men of Israel. Imagine saw upon the rock with them, which means turn and face the east. You're gonna see the prayers in the Hebrew, starting with the Lord's Prayer. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Wadash, Hayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakoka, Tabaa, Matazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, the thunder now, Lakam, Ka, Yawam, Wasalak now, Ka'awab Waf now, Kasalak now, Kawab Waf Yanawa, Wala'a, Tabaya Anawa, Badasaya 1, above, Hawa shine now, Mayan, Rad, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wa Alaha, Wa Ha'ala, Waha Tapa'ara, La'awalam, Aman.
In the English, our Father,
which
which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever.
So be it. Hakat, the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Barakashah, the thunder now, Hakak, Larapah, Kal Maka'Allah, Wakal Madawa, Hakak, Lata'ah, Ha Matazarayim, Hakak, La'akwayim, Hamathyam, Hakak, Al Raka'awaf, Hatama'ala, Lagarashan, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Tawad Aman.
In the English, Yahweh,
the name Yahushua. Please,
give us the power.
The power to heal.
All manner of sickness. And
all manner of disease.
Power to cleanse the lepers.
Power to raise the dead.
Power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
So be it.
Psalm 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah. Ayanya. Al-Haharyam. Ba'ayan. Yaba'a. Isaiah Ma'ayin. Yahweh. Aisha. Shamayam. Wa'arataza. Ayatan. Lamawak. Wagatha. Ayanawam. Shamarka. Hanala'a. Yanawam. Wala'a. Yayashan. Shawamar. Yasharala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazarka, Al-Yai, Yamyanka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'a, Yakaka, Wayarak, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makar, Rai, Yashamar, After Pashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Tazaafka, Wa'aka, Ma'ita, I will
In English, I will lift up mine eyes into the hills.
I will lift up my eyes into the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from Yahweh.
My help cometh from Yahweh,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee,
will
not slumber.
Will not slumber.
Behold, he that keepeth Israel,
he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in.
And thy coming in.
This time forth.
From this time forth,
even forevermore.
Even forevermore. Psalm 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayam. Al Damayalaka. Al Ta Karash. Wa'al Tashakwat. Al Kayahana. Hawayabyaka. Yahama Yawan. Wamashanaka. Nasha'awa. Ra'ash. Al-Imaka. Ya'ira Yamwa. Sawad. Waya. Kaya'aitazawa. Al-Tazapawanyaka. Amara. Lakawa. Wanakakidam. Magaya. Wala'a. Yazakar. Sham Yasharala. Iwad. Haya. Nawa'aitazawa. Lab. Yaka'adwa. Salaki. Ayaka. Baria. Yakawafwa. Ahaya. Adawam. Wa Yashama'ai Layam. Wa Yashama'ilawam.
Come, you good.
Mawa'aba. Wa Hagaryam. Gabar. Wa Imawan. Wa Amalak. Halashah. Anyashadia. Tazawar. Gum Ashawar. Nalawa. Imam. Yahweh. Hayawa. Zawawai. Labanya Lawa. Salah. Aisha Laham. Kamadiam. Kasayasara. Kayabian. Banakha. Kwayashwan. Na Shamadwa. Ba'ayan the hour. Hayawa. The man. The Adama. Shatamwa. Nadayadmawa. Ka'ira. Wakazaaba. Wakazabak. Wakatazamana. Haina Sayakamwa. Ashar. Amara. Nayarasha. Nanawa. Na'awa. Alahayam. Alahaya. Shayatamwa. Kagagala, Kakwash, Lapanya Raka, Kaash, Tabaira Yaira, Wakala Haba, Talaat, Haryam, Kanta Wadatma, Basa Iraka, Wabasa Wapafka, Tabahalam, Malaa, Panyaham, Kualawan, Wayabakwashwa, Shamka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Wayabaawa, Agyai, Wayaka Pawa, Wayabadwa, Wayada Ira, Kaya, Atha, Shamka, Yahawa, Labadka, Ayawan, Al Ka'arataza.
In the English, keep not thy silence, O power.
Keep not thy silence, O power.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
And be not still.
O power.
O power.
Allow thy enemies make it tumult.
For lo, thy enemies make it tumult.
And they that hate thee.
And they that hate thee.
I've lifted up the head.
I've lifted up their head.
They have taken crafty counsel.
They have taken crafty counsel
against thy people.
Against thy people.
And consulted. Against thy hidden ones.
Against thy hidden ones.
They have said.
Come.
And let us cut them off. From being a nation.
From being a nation.
At the name of Israel.
At the name of Israel.
There be no more remembrance.
There be no more remembrance.
For they have consulted together.
With one consent.
Confederate against thee.
They are confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom.
And the Ishmaelites.
Of Moab.
And
Hagarene.
Gabal.
And
Ammon.
And Amalek. The Philistines. With the inhabitants of Tyre. A sword also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah. Do unto them. As unto the Midianites. As to Sisera. As to Jabin. At the brook of Kison. Which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb. And like Zahab. Yea. All their princes. As Zabah. And as Zalmunna. Who said. Let us take to ourselves. The houses of the power. In possession. Oh my power. Make them like a wheel. As the stubble before the wind. As the fire burneth the wood. And as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest. And make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame. That they may seek thy name. Oh Yahweh. Let them be confounded. And troubled forever. Yea. Let them be put to shame. And perish. That men may know. That thou. Whose name alone is. Yahweh. The Most High of all the earth.
Blessing in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh. Why Yahweh Shah. I'll start from the top. Barakatah Yahweh. Why Yahweh Shah. Why Mayaka Allah. Why Allah Hayom. Matazab Ya'ah. Halawat Yahanna. Ha Alawatya. Ha Saranya. Ha Fatazayanya. Haka Yayanyam. Waha Aquafian. Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahushua. Wada.
In the English, bless you, Yahweh. And Yahushua. And Michael. And the angel. And Yahanna. Generals. Captains. Officers. Troopers. And assistants. Yahweh. Name Yahushua. Thank you. So be it.
Blessed are you, Yahweh.
Blessed are you, Yahweh.
King of heaven and earth.
King of heaven and earth.
And all things living.
And all things living.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Listen to us now.
Listen to us now.
Right now.
Right now.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
Punishment and destruction.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
That speak against us.
That speak against us.
Thy prophets.
Thy prophets.
The teachers.
The teachers.
The princes.
The princes.
The priests.
The priests.
The Israelite brothers.
The Israelite brothers.
And the school.
And the school.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
Punishment and
To
destruction.
the heathen.
To the heathen.
And shake loose.
And shake loose.
The treasure of the rich of Israel.
The treasure of the rich of Israel.
That refuse to give to the school.
That refuse to give to the school.
Force their riches.
Force their riches.
To enter into thy sanctuary.
Enter into our sanctuary.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
Punishment and destruction.
To the Edomites.
To the Edomites.
And the nation.
And the nation.
And their drug dealers.
And their drug dealers.
The court system.
Court system.
The prison system.
Prison system.
Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood.
All the governments of our enemies.
All the governments of our enemies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Roman Catholic Church.
Roman Catholic Church.
The Pope.
The Pope.
Islam.
Islam.
Christianity.
Christianity.
Egyptology.
Egyptology.
Militia.
Militia.
Ku Klux Klan.
Ku Klux Klan.
Aryan Nation.
Aryan Nation.
Skinheads.
Skinheads.
Posse Kamatazi.
Posse Comitatus.
The gay movement.
The gay movement.
The lesbian
The
movement.
lesbian movement.
Spies.
Spies.
Workers of witchcraft.
Workers of witchcraft.
NASA space program.
NASA space program.
Army.
Army.
Navy.
Navy.
Air Force.
Air Force.
Marines.
Marine.
Wall Street.
Wall Street.
Open up the internet.
Open up the internet.
And the airwaves.
And the airways.
The cable access channels.
Cable access channel.
And the radio channels.
And the radio channel.
Convict the spirit
Convict the spirit.
of any of thy people
And in our people
that seek to stop
that
us
seek to stop us.
and bring swift destruction
Bring swift destruction
to all the heathens
to all the evil
that stand in the way
that stand in the way.
or try to stop
That
us
are trying to stop
from broadcasting your word
us. Broadcasting your word
throughout the planet Earth.
throughout the planet Earth.
Let loose all the plagues.
Let loose all the plagues.
Cause them to go to and fro
Let them go to and fro
through the earth
through the earth
and consume them.
and consume them.
Let the plagues
Let the plagues
shake the house of the thief
shake the house of the thief
and the murderer.
and the murderer.
Let Yahushua,
Let Yahushua,
Michael, and Gabriel
Michael and Gabriel
come down with the flying saucers
come down with flying saucers
and punish all the heathens
and punish all the evil
that come up against us
that come up against us
as we speak thy word.
as we speak thy word.
Cause it to be known by all
Cause to be known by all
that it is the angels that have done it.
that is the angels that have done it.
Cause it to be spread through the media,
Cause it to be spread through the media
throughout the whole world.
throughout the whole world.
Cause them to shake at thy coming.
Cause it to shake without coming.
In the name of
In the
Yahushua,
name of Yahushua.
thank you always.
Thank you always.
So be it.
So be it.
Bless Israel. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem Yahushua.
Ba'ashem Yahushua.
Barak Lanawa.
Barak Yahweh.
Yasharala.
Yahweh.
Wa'aba Yah.
Wa'aba Yah.
Wa'aba Yasaparia.
Yahweh Yahweh.
Barak Rapa'ah.
Barak Yahweh.
Magun.
Magun.
Hagun.
Hagun.
Yasharala.
Yahshua.
Ba'ashem Yahushua.
Ba'ashem Yahushua.
Tuwada Aman.
Joel
What we just said is, Lord, in the name of Yahushua, bless us and Israel and the school. Bless here and share. Protect Israel in the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it. Start, which means the third. Yashabi.
Salakia, Raquel, when you get a chance, we could you make me another cup? Okay. We're gonna start at verse 3. So in First Chronicles 5 and 3, we was just beginning in the Reuben.
You got to.
Yeah,
I'm not fast like.
yeah.
My cup's still full.
So yeah, we're gonna get in the SHALAM. No sign, we're gonna get in the verse. The water. Appreciate that. Verse 2. All right, we're gonna get into verse 3. And start off. Ban Yoraban, Bakawar, Yasharala. Bakawar is like oldest. Kanawa, Wapalawa, Hatazarawan, Wakaram, 4, Banya, Yawa, Shemaiah, Banwa, Gawak, Banwa, Shemaiah, Banwa, Mayaka, Banwa, Raya, Banwa, Baal, Banwa, Baara, Banwa, Ashar, Hagala, Lagath. Okay. That was 5 and 6. Talagath, Palanasar, Malak, Ashar, Hawa, Nashaya, Lara, Banya, 7, Wa'ak, Yua, Lama, Shapak, Kaz, Yua, Paha, Bahathai, Kash, Lata, Watam, Raj, Yai, Yala, Wa, Zakar, Yella, 8, Wa, Balai, Bun, Izaz, Bun, Shemai, Bun, Yawal, Hawa, Yawashab, Ba'ira, Ira, Wa'ai, Nabawa, Wabail, Ma'ai 1, 9, Walama Zarak, Yeshab, Labawa, Madabara, Laman, Hanahar, Parath, Kaya, Makwanya, Rawa, Ba'arataza, Galai. John.
We're in the book of First Chronicles, chapter 5. We're starting at verse 3. We left at verse 2 last week.
Yeah,
we're picking up back at verse 3. The sons, I say, of Reuben, the firstborn of Israel, were Hanak and Palu, Hezron, and Carmi. Verse 4. The sons of Joel, Shemaiah, his son, God, his son, Shammai, his son, Micah, his son, Raiah, his son, Baal, his son, Bera, his son, Wam, Tilgal, Pilnezer, king of Assyria, carried away captive. He was prince of the Reubenites. And
okay, so what do we know? Okay.
Chapter 5, we started at verse 3. Right now we at verse 6. First Chronicles 5, we at verse 6 now.
Keep going. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No sweat. Verse 6. Bera, his son, Wam, Tilgath-Pilneser, king of Assyria, carried away captive. He was prince of the Reubenites. Verse 7. And his brethren, by their families, when the genealogy of their generation was reckoned, were the chief, Jerel and Zechariah. Verse 8. And Balak, the son of Azaz, the son of Shema, the son of Joel, who dwelt in our, even unto Nebo and Baal Meon. Verse 9. And eastward he inhabited unto the entering in of the wilderness from the river Euphrates, because their cattle were multiplied in the land of Gilead.
Okay.
That was the last verse, right? You started at 3?
Yeah, kind of. Well, technically, yeah, 9 was the last verse. Yeah. So first thing you gotta understand is Obviously, you can tell Chronicles was either completed or edited after the fall of the Northern Kingdom, because it. I don't believe this is Shalmaneser. This could be another name for. I don't believe so. So it's talking about something a bit earlier, but more than likely it's within that time period
of captivity of
Syria. Yeah, right. So you know that.
So, like, if I may, I was wondering that as I was reading it,
right,
about this captivity, because I saw that it's early. It's kind of early. We will confirm that.
Right. It's referenced. One thing I like about the 1611. 1611 will give you the reference. That's 2 Kings 15 and 29 and 16 and 7. If I'm not mistaken, their captivity happens in 17. Yet the Northern Kingdom captivity is found in 2 Kings, the 17th chapter. Right. So it's like around that time period, probably like 50 years later. They dealt with one cat, and then its successor came and destroyed us. And that's what happens. And then when you have to understand is that a lot of times when you're dealing with genealogies, these could all be great-grandkids. This great-grandkid, and eventually, they're all still your kids, but it's not directly your son. Some people get skipped over if they're not prominent. So, what's it called? While it may seem like a short lineage, the lineages could be skipping people. Right. Like Joel, I don't even, like, he's not even listed as a son, but more than likely that's the cat from the town of Moses who actually became a prince over Reuben. I'll look up the name when I get a chance. What the hell is my phone? But for that, that's basically it on that. Was there anything else? Yeah. Everybody's familiar with what he's referring to in verse 9, right? About them living eastward and
River Euphrates?
Not necessarily that part, but the land in Gilead. You okay? Anybody else? Y'all familiar? You're not familiar with the Paratazar, or?
I'm not familiar.
Who knows the history of not the Ammonites, the Arnites? I forgot the Amorites.
Oh, I see that.
The Amorites. You familiar?
Some bacon, sir. You can go.
So you want to go? You want to try to give it a shot, or?
I know.
Long story short, Esau told us, "You come on our land." During the time of Moses, we were going around trying to get to. Basically, how it went when we left what you today call Africa and crossed that body, we weren't in our land necessarily. We were somewhat south of Esau. So if I had to explain it, is Egypt, like, so you can understand it. Like, this is Egypt. This would be us along here. This going into here is kind of like Esau or Edom. And like Amalek would be somewhere around this bend. We had to go around. We had to go around and go up. We went to, Esau would be around this area. Esau said, "You come in our ish, we kill you." Now, mind you, we're saying we'll pay for anything we use or whatever. Come in our ish, we kill you. No sweat. Moab, you come in our ish.
So I could use this.
Oh, yeah, come. So Esau would be around here. You come in our ish, we kill you. Moab, you come in our ish, we kill you. Mm-hmm. Ammon's here on the side. You come in our ish, we kill you. Everybody else, notice, it's not we're going to kill you, just if you come in our ish, we kill you. Ammon, the Amorites had defeated Moab and Ammon. Ammon used to make an L somewhere around here. Right? This used to form an L. So Ammon would go from here all the way up here. This right here, it's hard to tell, is the River Jordan. Right? And this is what you would call Israel right here, this plot of land. Right? This right here is the Jordan. So basically, the Amorites were living somewhere on this section, sandwiched between basically Ammon and Moab. They basically told us the same thing. You come in our ish, we kill you. But the Most High put the spirit on the king of Ammon. No, actually go fight them. Matter of fact, they're disrespecting you. What's it called? They're disrespecting you, so go kill them. He marched an army down, got killed. We took all of his cities. When that happened, Reuben, Manasseh, and Gad came and said, we have a lot of cattle, and this land's good for cattle. Can we live here? Moses had a problem with it because he felt they were just trying to get their inheritance and just after everybody else, screw everybody else, right? So they had to make a deal with Moses. No, allow our women and children to stay here and this be our inheritance on this side of the Jordan, on the east side of the Jordan River, and we'll follow the army so everybody else can get their inheritance. We won't leave until every tribe has their inheritance. Moses allowed this, and till this day, Manasseh, Reuben, and Gad, their inheritance is east of the Jordan. Well, technically, in the case of Manasseh, Manasseh has both east and west. There's an east Manasseh and a west Manasseh. That's how big Manasseh got. Remember, they were always called the half tribe, but that's where that comes from.
So, like, let me say.
This
is a little bit off topic. What was the name of the people that remember we was passing through and Amalek had killed the people in the back?
Right, that was Amalek.
And I know, but when Saul went to go destroy them, he told a different group of people to get out of there before he started killing Amalek. He said because you was kind to us when we was passing through.
Right, yeah. I'll have to look it up, but I'll find it for you. I think I know what you're talking about. Khan.
Well, you said you said Manasseh half a tribe. What do you mean by that, sir?
You realize, okay, meaning like,
Because if
no, tell what you're gonna say.
Oh, because that was Joseph's father. I mean, come right?
No, Joseph's son.
Come.
Meaning like, technically speaking, Joseph. Okay, Manasseh's older, but Ephraim ended up taking the reins.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is that Joseph was prophesied to be a fruitful bow.
Yeah.
His children grew to such an extent that no other tribe ever did. Like no other tribe can really say one of our forefathers grew to such an extent we're almost a tribe in and of ourselves. Like everybody, like Pharez and Shelah, Judah, split Judah. And then it was never to a point where Pharez got so many kids, we might as well be called the Pharezites. Now y'all still just Judahites. Y'all still about, if y'all were to take y'all out the tribe of Judah, it wouldn't be an overly, like, it wouldn't be still a big ass, what's it called? Like if you, like, the best way to explain it is like, average Israelite tribe might have 2 million foot soldiers. Joseph had about 6 because he had both Ephraim and Manasseh. Y'all a tribe in enough. Y'all like 2 tribes combined. So that's what it eventually became, 2 tribes, which is what the Most High prophesied.
Think about it about like a large family.
Right.
Like if you think of today, how many brothers got the name Washington? It's like a tribe because that oppressor had so much slaves, right? So think about it when you think about Manasseh, like a large family.
And think about it like this: they really grew from 2 people. Mm-hmm. Like he did not follow in his father's footsteps.
Verse 10.
Yeah, 10 to 16, I guess. Your turn. Why by Yamya or Shalom? I.S.U.P.K, Malakama, Ein, Haha Gar Ra'ayim, Wayapalwa, Bayadam, Wayashabwa, Ba'al Ahal Yaham, Io, Kal Panya, Mazarak, La Galai 11, Wabanya, Gad, Lana Gadam, Yashabwa, Ba'arataza, Habashan, Salaka, Yawala, Harash, Shapam, Mashana, Ainya, Shapat, Babashan, Wa'akayam, Labayath, Abawathayam, their fathers. Abawathayam is their fathers. Mayakal, Kal, Wa-ma-shalom, Wa-shabai, Wa-ya-warya, Wa-ya-ikun, Wa-zayai, Wa-ibar, Shabai, 14. Allah, Banya, Abayakayo, Ban, Kawarya, Ban, Yaraka, Ban, Ban, Galaid is Gilead. Ban, Mayakal, Ban, Yasha, Ban, Yada, Yakad, Ban, Bawaz. 15, Akia, Ban, Slakia, Ban, Ibad, Yal, Ban, Gawanya, Ra'ash, Labayath, Abawatham, 16, Shabwa, Bagalai, Babashan, Baba Nathya, Bakal, Magarash, Sharwan, Ayo, Dawataza, Watham. Okay, you can. The English.
Picking up in First Chronicle chapter 5, verse 10. And in the days of Saul, they made war with the Hagarites, who fell by their hand, and they dwelt in their tents throughout all the east land of Gilead. 11. And the children of Gad dwelt over against them in the land of Bashan unto Salca. Verse 12. Joel, the chief of Shaphan, the next, and Jaanai and Shaphat in Bashan. 13. And their brethren of the house of their fathers were Michael and Meshullam and Sheba and Jorai and Jacam and Zayah and Heber. 7. Verse 14. These are the children of Abihail, the son of Huri, the son of Jeroham, the son of Gilead, the son of Michael, the son of Jeshashai, the son of Jaddo, the son of Boaz. 15. Ahi, the son of Abdiel, the son of Guni, chief of the house of their fathers. 16. And they dwelt in Gilead and Bashan, and in her towns, and in all the suburbs of Sharon, upon their borders.
Now, as you can understand, well, I kind of have one into it. What's it called? As we explained, they just mentioned how Gad lived by them. I want to say the order was Gad. No, Reuben's at the very bottom, Gad, then Manasseh. Well, actually, hold up. Because if I'm not mistaken, actually, that was more Manasseh territory. But I'll talk to General Muhammad about it. But because that goes into the whole Dan, what's called with Bashan. But that's in the same area. One thing you also need to know, since I already mentioned it, what I explained about Reuben having that area is the basis of the Ruth breakdown, just so y'all know. Everybody familiar, Ruth is technically a Reubenite. The reason it's important to understand that is because it says she's from the plains of Moab. As I explained earlier, the land that we took from the Amorites is land that the Amorites took from the Moabites. The name never changed. If I take over Palestine right now for confusion purposes, I'm not renaming it New Ibaji. Where the hell is New Ibaji? Palestine. I live in Reuben. Where the hell is that? What's it called? The Plains of Moab. It's been called that for hundreds of years already. What's it called? During the time of Judah, a general went down and was telling the Ammonites and Moabites, "Oh, come over here, you sons of Canaan. We are frickin' Shemites. Canaanites or Hamites. Why are you calling us that? We've been here over 1,000 years, possibly by the time of Judah. But yet you call us by people who lived here 1,000 years." First off, Palestine is from Philistine. You know how long ago we kicked the Philistines out of that part of the world? Right. But yet the land is still called after them 2,000 years later. So it's like, that's why even during the time of Ruth, it's called the Plains of Moab. And like, you can tell that land is Israelite land that used to belong to them, because the Ammonites during the time of the judges, during the time of Jephthah, try to come over and say, "Nah, y'all living on Moabite and Ammonite land." Jephthah's like, "Yo, we've been here 3 centuries already, and y'all ain't say ish till now." So, and use that, and also then go into the whole Boaz told her, "Yeah, there's a man in line for you. So if that man dubs you, then I'll marry you." Meaning like the law of a brother. But that you can use that as well to show this man was a man who cared about the law. If he's going to go to the extent of making sure the law of a brother is kept, he's not going to marry a heathen. Ruth was a Reubenite. There's a little more to that, David-wise, but I'm not going to get into that because I can't teach that. But yeah, come. We stopped. You finished off 16, right? Come. All right. Borders. All right, 17 to 23. Come. All right. Kalam hata yakashua bayamya. Saki Yawatham Malak Yahawada Wabayam Ya Rabbi Malak Yashrala 18 Banya Ra'aban Wagadia Wa Katazaya Shapat Manasha Man Banya Kayal, Anashiam, Nashaaya, Magan, Wakarab, Wadarakya, Kwashaf, Walamwadya, Malakama, Arabai, Wa Arabai, Alap, Washabai, Ma'awaf, Washashayam, Yatazaya, Tazabaya, Waya Aisha, Malakama, Ain, Hahagar Ayam, Waya Tawar, Wana Payash, Wana Wadab, 20. Waya Izarwa, Il Yaham, Waya Nathanwa, Bayadam, Hahagar Yaaya, Wakal, Sha'aim Maham, Kaya, La Alaha, La Alahayam, Yaka Zai Koya Wa Bama Lakama Wana Aitawar Laham Kaya Batakwa Bawa 21 Waya Shabwa Makwanyam Gamal Yam Kamashyam Alab Wa Tazan Ma'athyam Wa Kamashyam Alab Wakamawoyum, Alapyum, Wanapash, Adam, Ma, Alapkaya, Kalalyum, Rabayum, Napal, Kaya, Maha Hamalakma, Wayashabwa, Takath Young, I Hagala 23, Wabanya, Khatazaya, Shapat, Manasha, Yashabwa, Barataza, Mabashan, I Bio, Karam 1, Washamyar, Wahar, Karam 1, Kamal, Rabwa.
First Chronicles chapter 5, verse 17. All these were reckoned by genealogies in the days of Jotham, king of Judah, and in the days of Jeroboam, king of Israel. 18. The sons of Reuben and the Gadites. The sons of Reuben and the Gadites, and half the tribe of Manasseh, of valiant men, men able to bear buckler and sword, and to shoot with the bow, and skillful in war, were 44,703 that went out to the war. 19. And they made war with the Hagarites, with Jethor, and Nephish, and Nodab, 20. And they were helped against them, and the Hagarites were delivered into their hand, and all that were with them, for they cried to the Most High in the battle, and he was entreated of them, because they put their trust in him. 21. And they took away their cattle, of their camels 50,000, and of sheep 250,000, and of asses 2,000, and of men 100,000. 22.
Yeah, please don't go. I'll keep going, sloppy.
Go. 22. For there fell down many slain, because the war was of God, and they dwelt in their steads until the captivity. Verse 23. And the children of the half tribe of Manasseh dwelt in the land. They increased from Bashan unto Baal Hermon and Sinir, and unto Mount Hermon.
And I said, yeah, please don't fight us. You will lose. You will lose your stuff if we don't burn it down. That will be our killing.
And that's, if I may, right? And that's the lesson that we have to learn as a people. When we serve the Most High will be with us.
That's right.
And right now we getting our behind whipped by our oppressor, and that's because we're not serving the Most High. Because if we were serving the Most High will be with us, and these other nations will not be able to oppress us the way that they are oppressing us today.
Right. And this goes in last thing really before I get back into this. This goes into the whole thing with Bashan. For those who aren't aware, that's integral to the Dan breakdown. When it says Dan shall leap into Bashan, right? Bashan was a Manasseh territory. I just said it. I forgot where that scripture is, but if you need it, I'll get it for you. Dan shall leap into Bashan. That's basically telling you the remnant.
In that Genesis 49, not in the prophecies.
I don't believe it's in Genesis 49. I know Genesis 49 is like Dan shall be an adder,
Right.
by the way, but it doesn't. I don't think it says Bashan in that one. But yeah, kind of. But Dan became too small to hold the title of tribe. So basically, what's left of Dan is, for the most part, consumed by Manasseh. Khan.
Yes, sir. If I may. For you to be a tribe, it means you have to have a lot of male presence within that tribe.
Right.
So that means even today there's no more Danites, or they just
There's Danites. It's just they don't have the numbers to be a tribe.
but they're immaculate. How do you say that? Amalgamated into Manasseh, right? Today.
Like they're mixed in with Manasseh. Yeah. Okay. And then that half tribe is now becoming a full tribe.
So, speaking of Manasseh and Ephraim, it's Manasseh.
Just Manasseh.
Okay.
Ephraim was always basically its own tribe, but it was the head tribe of that. Khan.
It's Deuteronomy 33 and 22, sir.
Khan, yeah, that would be the blessings, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, back into this, 23 to 30, I guess. But is it 29?
It's 24 to 6 and 4, sir.
To 64?
6 and 4. I'm gonna change the chapter.
Okay, come. Goddamn. 6 and 4?
No, not 31. You might be looking at the wrong chapter.
No, he's right.
You're right. Is there a change here?
Yeah, there's a change. Yeah, kind of. Because we have.
Let me check.
Yeah, Tanakh can be very weird. Hold on. Yeah, because that's 24. 25, 26, 27. Loyada, yeah, so it's 27 here is 6 and 1.
27 and 6 and 1.
The Tanakh goes to yeah, the Tanakh goes to 41.
In First Chronicles chapter 5.
Yeah.
The 41. Maybe it's Divine chapter 6 and chapter 5. What's how chapter how verse 27 start?
Verse 27 starts the same as what's it called, because I can speak it.
Right?
When you're good with the Hebrew, you can tell things. Banya lo ya garashwan, Kwahath, Wa Mararia. Yeah, those are his sons, Kohath and Merari. Come. So Levi had 3 sons. Okay. All right, let's just kill it. So that would be. Yeah, kind of. I'm just trying to see where I end off. You said verse 4, right? In the English. So 27.
It'll be 30. It will be 30.
Yeah, 30. 24. Let's get this over with. Wa'ala, Ra'asha, Bayath, Abawatham, Wa'ipar, Wa'yashaya, La ala Ya'ala, Izar Yala, Yaramya, Wahawaya, Kad Yala, Anashiam, Gaba Warya, Kayo, Anashia, Shamwath, Ra'ashim, Labayath, Abawatham, 25. Wayamayo, Baala, Abath, Wayazanawa, Akaria, Alahaya, Anya, Ha-Arataza, Ashar, Hasham Yad, Alahayam, Masha, Salavia, Shamuath, Ra'ashuyam, Labayath, Abawatham, Wayama'aywa, Ba'alaya, Abath oh wait,
Where you
right now I'm in 26. Alaya, Alaya, Yasharala, Raka, Pawal, Malak, Ashawar, Wa'ath, Raka, Talagath, Palanasar, Malak, Ashawar, Wayagalam, La Ra'abanya, Walagabya, Walakatazaya, Shabbat, Manasha, Wayabayam, Wakalak, Wakabawar, Wahara, Wanahar, Gawazam, Aid, Hayawam, Hazar, Banya, Loy, Slaga 27, Banya Loya, Garashwan, Kwahath, Wamararya, 28, Wabanya, Kwahath, Imaram, Yata Tazahar, Wakabar 1, Waizayala, 29, Wabanya, Imaram, Aharan, Wamasha, Wamaryam, Wabanya, Aharan, Nadab, Aba Yahawah, Izar, Yatamar, 30, Izar, Hawalayad, Payanakas, Layad, Abayashawai, and that's it.
That's a fire.
Huh?
How you say Phineas?
How you say what?
Phineas.
Phineas? Oh, yeah, Con.
All right, we're in the book of First Chronicles, chapter 5, verse 24. And there, these were the heads of the house of their fathers, even Epher, and I.S.U.P.K, and Eliel, and Azriel, and Jeremiah, and Hodaviah, and Jadiel, mighty men of valor, famous men and heads of the house of their fathers. 25. And they transgressed against the power of their fathers, and went warring after the gods of the people of the land, whom the power destroyed before them. And what word is there in the Hebrew? Sorry.
What?
For God. Is it
Alahaya? In what verse?
20, 26, 25,
26.
all over there. 26. I'll check right now.
Alahaya.
And the power of Israel stirred up the spirit of Paul, king of Assyria, and the spirit of Tiglath-Pileser, king of Assyria, and he carried them away, even the Reubenites and the Gadites and the half tribe of Manasseh. Going back to what we were talking about earlier, right? Like earlier, as the fathers were cried to the Most High, and they were able to conquer over the Hagarites, and now the children, being that they went to warring themselves after the other gods of the people, now they being carried away captive of Assyria. It's always the same thing with us, with Israel. When we serve the Most High is with us. We're not serving Him. Now we're going to serve another nation because of our disobedience.
Oh God.
even the Reubenites and the Gadites and the half tribe of Manasseh, and brought them unto Halah, and Habor, and Harah, and to the river Gozan, unto this day. Chapter 6, verse 1. The sons of Levi, Gershon, Kohath, and Merari. Verse 2. And the sons of Kohath, Amram, Izhar, and Hebron, and Uzziel. 3. And the children of Amram, Aaron, and Moses, and Miriam.
Now stop. That's not direct. That is not direct. Well, keep going.
You say that's not what?
Direct.
Oh, direct. Like
Yeah,
it's
right.
not linear.
Yeah, right. Amram is the literal father of Moses.
That's his father?
That's his literal father. Moses lived 600 years after Levi. What's called, meaning Moses' grandfather, who's Kohath, grandfather, would have to have lived about 600 years to have given birth to Amram. That is not direct. This is what I mean earlier by it's not necessarily your direct son when it says the son of. It's basically one of your descendants. Come.
If I may, sir, back then, wasn't brothers living to be like very, very old?
120 years, yeah, but that's not 600.
I mean, prior. Like here, we're talking about the time of Moses. Maybe you're talking about the time during Adam.
Well, yeah, right. Those are centuries. That's possible. But by this time, like we had Abraham, who was 120, I think, when he died.
Right.
That's not, it's not exactly linear.
We're talking about post Genesis 6.
Right.
Right.
Sloppy to cut you off, sir.
No, verse 6, chapter 6, verse 3. And the children of Amram, Aaron, and Moses, and Miriam, the sons also of Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. Verse 4.
Now everybody knows Nadab and Abihu were killed by the Most High.
Are those
that's the brothers they couldn't stand? Is it the Lord despised them and killed them?
Hold on. What were you gonna say?
Wasn't that the brothers that my memory is correct, right? When the Most High had told him, you're not gonna mourn over them, you're not gonna drink, you're not gonna leave. That's not
That might be them. I don't think so.
I have to double check.
Basically, like a combo. You're gonna say
I was gonna say I don't know.
You familiar with it, Parata? Basically, you when doing the sacrifice, there's certain, like, you cannot just walk up on the Ark of the Covenant or the holy places. Most High says that very disrespectful. Like, remember, he told Moses, take off your goddamn sandals. The ground you stand on is actually holy. Come, Parata.
While you're saying that, I remember that you read that on Sabbath Service.
What?
About it was two brothers that woke on to the Ark of the Covenant. And he struck them. It's just basically, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, God set them on fire and killed them like seconds after. Basically, Moses goes to Aaron and his kids. When it's time to do the sacrifice, then you walk up there and do it, right? Yeah, they did it when it wasn't time. Wow. And Moses just turned to Aaron and said, yeah, they didn't do it right. And now Eleazar and Ithamar are the ones who, what's it called? Mind you, if I'm not mistaken, the other two idiots also followed Korah until their father knocked some sense into them and said, yeah, you're about to die. You know, get your ass from around them. And they actually listened, but this time they didn't. And they died for it. For verse 4.
Verse 4. Eleazar begot Phinehas. Phinehas begot Abishua. That was the last verse, right?
Payanakas. Huh?
The story you're referring to is in Numbers chapter 3. It says they died before the Lord when they offered strange fire before the Most High.
Right. I'll get an understanding of what the strange fire is, but I knew it had something to do with basically them doing an incorrect sacrifice. Right? Because remember, he doesn't like certain things like believe any sacrifice must be done on an unhewed stone or a huge stone. Like you can't, specific, and every sacrifice has to be done the way he says, or you will die.
Right.
Check Cain. Right? Cain used the wrong type of sacrifice.
Right.
What the fuck is this? It's a lot. What's it called? This nigga. Yo, this nigga really brought me some tomatoes. Nigga, we making salad?
I'm vegan now.
Right.
God.
But that's it on that. Everybody's familiar with Phineas, right?
Oh, yeah.
Long story short, God. Oh, you want to bring it? Oh, yeah, well. God brought a plague, killed a few thousand people because cats wanted to worship another people's God. Idiot thought it was a good idea after all of that. Yeah, let me go have sex with this heathen while I bring her through the camp into my tent. This brother found out about it, took a javelin, went into the tent like real smooth, not making a sound, and put the javelin through the both of them. Now understand. He put the javelin through the both of them, meaning they were still together. God said after that, you ain't got no problems. You and your children don't have to worry about anything. These are like a family of Haitians that do dumb shit like go 120 and a 60. Because they know and understand God got me. Like to describe it as like crazy ass Swiss Indians who kind of under the same spirit of I won't die, even if I jump off a 10-foot speaker onto a woman. No, cause I never understood. Cause that's actually what's it called? It's a scripture about Benjamin. Right. Benjamin, the Most High is on his shoulders. Speaking of which, like supposedly a brother, I think of the Hazahab and Kanakab confirmed that like every Benjaminite supposedly has a story. I shouldn't be alive today, and it's not necessarily from gangster or living that life. It's really I jumped off a 10-foot speaker one time at a party being drunk. Or I knew a bitch. I shouldn't be alive today. Like there are instances that they have as a people that are like speaking from a Benjaminite. So yeah, you got instances like that. That's how certain families in Israel like really give it up. Yeah, I won't die. I really like please like have that spirit of nothing can harm me in this world. But yeah, I left off at 30, right? 30 on the dot. Yeah, kind of was 30. For those who don't know, because I know you like the name, Paya Nakas is Phineas. There might be different spelling. That might be just a different way, because Panakas seems a little more, what's it called, but it could be Payanakas. Yes, let's try to end this off. 31. So I'll be stopping at 38. 30, right, 37, right. So. Wa'aba Yashawai, Hawalayad, Af, Bakwaya, Bakwaya, Hawalayad, Af, Isaiah, 32. Isaiah, Hawalyad, Af, Zarakia, okay, Zarakya, Hawalayad, Af, Marayawaf, 3. Marayawaf, Hawalayad, Af, Amaria, Amarya, Hawalayad, Af, Akayatwab, Yatwab, Hawalayad, Af, Tazadawak, Wa Tazadawak, Hawalayad, Ak Yama 35, Wa Yama Hawalayad, Isaiah, Wa Isaiah, Hawalayad, Yawa Kanan, 36, Wa Kanan, Hawalayad, Isaiah, Hawa, Ashar, Kahan, Babaya, Ashar, Bana, Shalamal, Bayarashalam, 37, Waya Walad, Isaiah, Amaria, Wa Amaria, Hawalayad, Akaya Tawab, and that's that. I guess 4, 5 to what?
5 to 11.
First Chronicle chapter 6, verse 5. And Habishua begat Buki, and Buki begat Uzi. Why you laugh?
The names?
You know, what does Buki mean? Because that's actually a word in Creole.
I'll look it up if you want.
Yeah,
Con.
That's like if you go to the hood, it's always a brother named Bookie around. Oh, no good. Who cares?
Let me check real quick.
You want to check?
Yeah, that's what verse 5. Wasteful, the name of 2 Israelites. You know, it's crazy. In Haiti, when you call somebody Buki, you call them like stupid.
Right.
Like if you a Buki, like you like a stupid mom, and you just
Wasteful.
Ignorant, you wasteful. Like this is, you know, it's one of those words. It's one of those words that you can't find their roots in the French. Like there's a lot of words like that in the Creole, because you know Creole comes from French. Like a lot of words are from French, but there's a lot of words in the language you can't get the root from French. So those words, like we see Buki, it's like those kind of terms, like it's like they survive. Right. You know, like to call somebody Buki, and then when you go into the Hebrew, in Creole, when we call somebody Buki, that person is a stupid, ignorant person. And then when you go to the Hebrew, you see that Buki means wasteful.
To a point, I don't think that's the exact translation, because one thing you gotta understand about Hebrew is that it's like different things can mean different things. Because like when you look it up in the Strong's to get the full, a primitive root to pour out, that is to empty, figuratively to depopulate. Now here's the thing that do I mean, like there's multiple ways to look at things.
Right.
By analogy, to spread out as a fruitful vine. So just like it means to just pour out, or what it's called, it can also have the sense of we're spreading it out. Meaning like
context.
Yeah, right. Meaning like it's not like meaning that the cat's wasteful. It's saying you're gonna spread out and grow. So there's multiple meanings. And one thing you gotta always understand is devils trying to translate a nigga language. So it's like you gotta understand, like sometimes a lot of times they really don't know what the hell, like what's it called. Just because it by definition may mean one thing, the way we use it is completely different than the definition of it. Like bad.
Or virgin.
Well, yeah, kind. But I mean, I'm talking about words like that'll have one meaning, but the meaning we give to it is completely opposite. You understand? Right. Like, kind.
Like sloppy. Like if I say you good, that's like 7 different meanings. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And,
right, kind. So yeah, that's basically it on that. But Buki, that's a funny one.
Yeah,
and my kid Buki.
Definitely don't have a French origin in the Creole language. Yeah,
the definition you gave, that's that's the primitive word that it comes from, right?
Yeah, right. That's the word for 1238. That's 1238. What you're looking up is 1231 probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
All right, back to verse 5 in First Chronicle chapter 6. And Uzi begot Zerahiah, and Zechariah begot, is that where I left off at?
Yeah, kind of.
Verse 5. Zerahiah begot Meraiah. Verse 6. And Uzi begot Zerahiah, and Zerahiah also begot Merahath. Verse 7. And Meraath begot Amariah, and Amariah begot Ahitub, and Ahitub begot Zadok, and Zadok begot Ahimaaz. Verse 9. And Ahimaaz begot Azariah, and Azariah begot Johanan. 10. And Johanan begot Azariah. He it is that executed the priest office in the temple that Solomon built in Jerusalem. Verse 11. And Azariah begot Amariah, and Amariah begot Ahitub. 12.
Last verse.
11 was the last verse?
Yeah. Question. They're naming their children after their grandfathers and fathers.
Yeah, that's Israelite culture.
All right.
Wait, who's named after who?
What? The whole.
Yeah, because it said right here,
Verse 9.
Verse 9, right?
Yeah.
Ahimaaz begot Azariah, and Azariah begot Jahan, and Jahan begot
Azariah. Oh, yeah, kind of.
Just like myself, with my grandfather, my son slave name, I named him after my grandfather.
Right.
I got his tattoo right here. My grandfather's name is my son's name.
I don't know about that.
I mean, that's what I say in the world.
Yeah, kind of. But no, as far as that,
it's before I came into truth.
Well, the tattoo part is the part I was trying to. But for those who don't know,
it's a lack.
Yeah, kind of.
You don't see I.S.U.P.K over there getting tattooed.
Right, yeah.
That's when I was in the world.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, now just one other thing. Everybody's familiar with John and the whole thing he had to go through with his name. John. John the Baptist.
Oh, no.
You're familiar or not?
No.
Oh, none of y'all are familiar with this. Yeah, traditionally, and I want to check if this is specifically for Levi because we're dealing with Levi now, and that's a Levite as well. Everybody thought it was abnormal. John's name was abnormal. For those who don't know, an angel, well, this is one thing you could put in your Immaculate Conception breakdown. An angel went to John's parents, both of them, but the scriptures only record his father. Because he basically he went home and told his wife, before he could even try to tell his wife said, yeah, an angel came to visit me and said, we're about to have a baby. Wait, what? An angel visited me earlier. Long of the story short, yeah, you're going to have a baby. He came into the holiest of holies, the back room that only the high priest could go into, met him in there and said, yeah, you and your rib going to have a baby. And you're going to name him John, which means joy in Hebrew. Baby's come.
What's his name?
YAHANNA.
YAHANNA.
Or Yakanan, you're Yakanan. But I think the exact translation for John specifically is YAHANNA. Yeah, long the story short, he said, no, that's impossible. My wife's barren. Even though you are the leader of a frickin' country created by a 90-year-old woman or a 100-year-old husband. How you can tell an angel who frickin' appeared in a room that anybody but you enters, they drop dead. How you can tell that man, no, the angel made him mute to shut his behind up. Long the story short, I guess the angel must have told the wife too, you're going to name this baby John. Problem is, nobody in the family was named John. So when it came time, what's the baby's name? John. Y'all don't have a relative named John. And everybody's like, yo, what you doing? Y'all know the tradition. We named the baby after a relative. I wonder why. Maybe something about you think the relative's back in the form of this baby. That's a whole other conversation. Mind you, the angel made him mute until that very moment so he could yell out, his name is John. And that's how John the Baptist got his name. And also to let you, that's all contained in Genesis. Yes, no, that's Luke, the first chapter, right? When he goes on the tangent to prophesy Christ about a horn is given to David. Right before that, he says his name is John. That would be about, I want to say, Luke 1 and like 68 or something. Because I know around 72 he's going on this tangent. But that's how John got his name. He was supposed to, like many of us, be named after his ancestors.
Right.
Con.
One more question too. I might be as you gave me the description. I was actually that too. But John the Baptist is not John the Revelator.
No, they are two different people. John is somewhat a common name, as you'll see. There's a few names that are like you gotta understand by that time. Like people don't even know Simon is Simeon. Simon is a bastardized version of Simeon.
Right.
Con.
So you said Luke first chapter?
Luke the first chapter, like after Mary. Like right after Mary, it goes into the birth of John. Or rather, right after Mary sees Elizabeth, so she's like, okay, I'm not bugging the hell out. But yeah, you finished 5, so right? That was the 5th set?
No, so it's 6 7
Most High in Christ. Let's get this over with. I stopped at verse 37.
So you got 38.
All right. YAHANNA Yatuab Hawalayad Ath Tazadawak Watazadawak Hawalayad Ath Shalom 39 Wa Shalom Hawalayad Ath Kalakya Wa Kalakya Hawalayad Ath Isaiah 40 Wa Isaiah Hawalayad Ath Sharia Washaya Hawalayad Ath Yahweh Tazadak 41 Wa Yahweh Tazadak Halak Ba Galawash Yahweh Ath Yahweh Wa Yarawashalam Bayad Nabaka Naatazar Banya Loya. Where am I supposed to stop at?
It starts at 41 in there, right?
Yeah.
So you're gonna start with verse
3. Banya Loya Garsham Kwahath Wa Maria Wa Allah Shamwath Banya Garshuam Labanya Wa Shemaya. You said verse 3 is where I stopped?
This should be the last verse, right?
Yeah, time. Wabanya Kwahath Imaram Waya Tazahar Wahaba 1 Wa Zayal Al Khan. So that be verse 12 for him, right?
Yeah, 12 to 18.
Right. Khan.
Book of First Chronicles, chapter 6, verse 12. And Ahitub begot Zadok, and Zadok begot Shalom, and Shalom begot Hilkiah, and Hilkiah begot Azariah, and Azariah begot Saraiah. Saraiah begot Jehozadak. 15. And Jehozadak went into captivity when the Most High carried away Judah and Jerusalem by the hand of Nebuchadnezzar. 16. The sons of Levi, Gershon, Kohath, and Merari. I start with?
Yeah.
Where do I? 18, sir.
18. Verse 17. And these be the names of the sons of Gershon. Levi.
Verse 18. Okay, come. You good.
And Shimei. Verse 18. And the son
of Kohath were Amram and Izhar and Hebron and Uzziel.
I'm gonna ask about Amram, like, oh shit, because it could be like, what's it called? Because Amram could be what's it called? Could be like similar, like a brother named his child after their great descendant, but to my knowledge, that's not what's it called. Because Amram is known to have married. God, Amram is known to have married his father's sister. God, Amram is known to have married his father's sister, but you gotta understand that can mean a lot of different things for black people. Like I tell my child right now, you better marry my sister. Like we understand what the hell that means. So you gotta understand it's kind of the Bible is somewhat written internally. Like you'd have to really be one of us to understand it. So when it says father sister, like that could mean, and Abraham went to go save his brother Lot when actually that's his nephew. What's it called? So I always took that to mean Amram when it said Amram, the father of Moses. I literally took that. I think that might be literal, but it's a possibility. They're just going by which son of Kohath he is, because these are all Kohath's kids. Right. No, wait. Yeah, Khan, these are Kohath's kids. No. Where are you at in what's it called?
18.
18, right? Yeah, these are Kohath's kids.
Khan. Amram. Talking about Amram, right?
Right. But now, see, I gotta go back. I'll talk to General Muhammad about it. Damn, he busy right now. I don't know that much. Okay.
Speak it up for me.
Yeah, Khan. All right, so that's pretty much it. Nothing really more to say other than everybody's familiar. Well, we'll get into it eventually, but this is a very big thing. Like, okay, I'm just gonna bring this out because I have to deal with this foolishness real quick. Just one thing you always want to remember is that, like, especially in this, like, our nation was destroyed after Jehoshaphat. Like, there was a very big problem you'll see when we get into, I want to say, either Nehemiah or Ezra or both. If you can prove you come from one of these men these men I mentioned, you could not be technically considered a Levite. You could possibly be able to prove, yeah, my people was took into captivity, so 9 out of 10, I'm an Israelite. But if you couldn't prove it, you couldn't be a Levite. And if you couldn't prove you're a Aaronite, you damn sure couldn't be a part of be a head priest. So that's one thing why this was always important to know our history and our culture, because you need your blood, be able to track your bloodline in order to have certain privileges inside of the nation. Like, because high priests, especially during the time we're going to read about in a few weeks during HANUkkah, really meant you could be a king. Like a high priest was half a king during the time of during the time of HANUkkah and during the time of Christ. But that's a whole other thing. Let's get back into this Hebrew. This is verse 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Last set. And left off at 3, going into 4, right?
Yeah, 4 to 10.
Okay. 4 to what?
10.
10? All right, copy. Let's blow this up. Banya Mararya, Makalia, Wamashya.
Hold on, where are we at in this?
4 and it would be to us 6 and 4. Right. Banya Mararya, Makalia, Wamashya. You there with me or?
Good. What's the first word?
Banya. It should be right here. Banya. Mariah. Khan. Khan. Banya, Mariah, Makalia, Mashia, Wa'ala, Masha Pakwa, Haloya, La Abath Yaham, La Garsham, Labanya, Banwa, Yakaf, Banwa, Zama, Banwa, 6, Yawa'ak, Banwa, Idwa, Banwa, Zarak, Banwa, Ya'athar, Banwa, 7, Banya, Quahath, I'm Yanadab, Banwa, Quarak, Banwa, Asayar, Banwa, Alakwana, Banwa, Wa Aba Yasap, Banwa, Wa Asayar, Banwa, 9, Takaf, Banwa, Awar Yala, Banwa, Isaiah, Banwa, Wa Sha'awo, Banwa. Yeah, this is 10 right here, right? Yeah. Wa Banya, Alakwana, Imashia, Wa Akayamawaf. Khan. And that's everything. I guess this is gonna be real confusing. For the next class, so.
First Chronicle chapter 6, verse 19. The sons of Merari, Mali, and Mushi, and these are the families of the Levites according to their fathers. Verse 20. Of Gershom, Libni his son, Jahath his son, Zamah his son. 21. Jahar his son, Ido his son, Zorah his son, Jetare his son. 22. The sons of Kohath, Haminadab his son, Korah his son, Asir his son. 23. Elkanah his son, and Abiasaph his son, and Asir his son. 24. Tahath his son, Uriel his son, Uzziah his son, and Shaul his son. 25. And the sons of Elkanah, Amasai, and Ahimath. 25 is the last verse, right?
On the contrary.
All right, that's pretty much it. There ain't much to really say about that one. Khan is really the genealogy of the Levites, like that's more akin for that brother. Well, we should all know it, but it's more akin for this brother. We're going into his family lineage and the lineage of his people. And yeah, basically all I can say is the same thing I've been saying for the past few weeks since we've been going through this. You should feel upset that this is meaningless to you. Meaning like you are reading off names that you have never heard of, have no idea, but these men are your forefathers.
Right.
These men are prominent figures in your people's history.
Right.
Like, I often think about, like I had a Greek teacher, I often mention her, and I often think about how she was not necessarily in love with her culture. Well, she liked the culture. She was raised Greek, but you really get a sense of, she really taught me, especially coming into the truth and replaying that whole year of having her as a teacher, you really get a sense of what was lost to us. Like, cause she'll talk about her little 3-year-old baby and like how all the older women will fawn over him because he's knows all the little Greek dances, and like he's taught and immersed in their culture. And it's not necessarily something to check that. They have a culture. They have a way of life that their people have been keeping up since they came into power. Thank God for the Most High killing them bastards. But we're going to celebrate in a few weeks. But at the end of the day, they have a culture, they have a history, and they're able to spread it and teach it to their children so it doesn't die out. Like I'm a big gangster buff, so I like a lot of these movies. About to probably start watching The Sopranos, and you see things like this, and it's like even if I want to say either Tookie or Monster even said I felt jealous reading the screenplay for Godfather, not because of all the gangster life, but being able to see these are very cultured people. Right? They have ways of cooking, they have ideals of society, so on and so forth, that really comes from their houses, that really comes from the culture they were raised around. And like being able to like even the idea of the mafia has a history to it. It was like corruption within Italy way back when in the 18 and 1700s led to ordinary citizens coming up and saying we're going to create an organization to help out the little guy. Now they became the big fish and the big kahuna and became the mafia or mob that you know them today, but there's a history there. It's not like just some, like there's culture behind it. And that's what our people don't have. Our culture is really slave food and what we've been able to pick up since. Like where did y'all get black rice from? Like where does black rice and
where that originate from?
Right, because I'm not sure if you're aware, most Judite food is slave food. Like things we were like white people wasn't eating pork chops. Those were the parts of the pig they threw away. Yeah, right. They threw away, and we had to find in garbages.
I'm not sure, but I know that John, right, which is mushroom.
Right.
It grows a lot in Haiti.
Yeah, right. It just like they
so that Levi it's there in abundance.
Right.
So we definitely mixed it up with the rice, and that's how we got the black rice.
Right. Well, for those who don't know, collards is weeds, which shows you the beauty of Israel and Judah specifically. But collards is really weeds. Like people don't look at it and see it as such, but because it's become a commodity. But yeah, collards is weeds that grow on the side of the road. We had nothing else to eat. Take that what's called bone you found in the garbage. We're gonna give these weeds some flavor, and that's it. That's dinner tonight. That's where collard greens come from. Con.
Also, callaloo is a weed too.
Con. And this is what we lost. We lost our own culture. We lost the names of our ancestors. Like this brother should be able to say, yeah, that's my grandfather. Nah, that's what's called. This ain't my grandfather, but I got a cousin that's related to him through my mama's side. Oh, I actually know one of his kids too. I know one of his kids. I went to high school with a Gershomite. And I should be able to say the same for Judites. I should be able to say the same for Ephraimites. I got a best friend who's Ephraim. I can't point out one of his grandfather. He can't do it. Like you understand, and it was send someone to the topic of there are really like Puerto Ricans high off heroin don't even realize they are the descendants of Joshua from the Bible. Let's share with that. Majum.
Right.
Horn, sir. Oh, yeah, come on. Horn first. No time, Chris.
La Yasharala, which means to Israel.
Heavy hands.
Oh, Salaki, I didn't even do too much.
Heavy hands.
And of Israel, Imagine saw upon your aqueduct, which means turn and face the east. We're gonna recite the prayers in the Hebrew, so like it. The Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayim. Kodash. Haya. Shamka. Yahweh. Malakufka. Taba'ah. Watazakah. Haya. I.S.U.P.K. Ba'aratazah. Hawa. Haya. Bashamayim. The Thunderawa. Laka'am. Kayawam. Wasalaklanawa. Kawabwafyanawa. Kasalaknawa. Kawabwafyanawa. Wala'ah. Tabaya'nawa. Banasayawan. Above. Awashaynawa. Mayan. Right. Kaya. Laka. Malakwa. Wa'alaha. Tapa'araf. La'aiwalamyam. Amen.
In the English, our Father,
which
art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done.
In earth.
As it is in heaven.
Give us this day.
Our daily bread.
Forgive us our debts.
As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it.
Hakak, the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahushua. Baba Kasha. Nathundanawa. Hakak. Larapa'ah. Ka Makala'ah. Wakamadawa. Hakak. Lata'ah. Hamatazarayim. Hakak. Lahakwayam. Hamathiyam. Hakak. Araka'awak. Hatama'ala. Lagarshan. Ba'ashem Yahushua. Wala
In English, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
The name Yahushua.
Please.
Give us the power.
The power
to heal.
All
manner of sickness.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of disease.
And all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean spirits.
The power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out.
To cast them out.
In the name Yahushua.
In the name Yahushua.
Thank you always.
Thank you always.
So be it.
So be it. Psalm 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah. Ayanya. HARLEM. Ma'ayan. Yaba'ah. Isaiah Ma'an. Yahweh. I.S.U.P.K. Shamayim. Ba'aratazah. Ayathan. Lamawat. Ragalka. Yanawam. Shamarka. Hana la'ah. Yanawam. Wala'ah. Yayashan. Shalomar. Yasharala. Yahweh. Shamarka. Yahweh. Tazalka. Ayad. Yamyanka. Yawamam. Yashamash. La'ah. Yakaka. Wayarak. Balayala. Yahweh. Yahweh. Yashamarka. Makarai. Yashamar. Napashka. Yahweh. Yashamar. Haza'afka. Wa'aka. Ma'aitha. Wa'aiwalam.
In English, I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills.
I will lift up my eyes unto the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from Yahweh.
My help cometh from Yahweh,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee.
He that keepeth thee
Will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold.
He
that keepeth Israel.
He that keepeth Israel
Shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
Nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
And thy coming in.
and thy coming in.
From this time forth.
From this time forth
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore. Psalm 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim.
Alahayim.
Al-Damayalaka.
Al-Damayalaka.
Al-Takarash.
Al-Takarash.
Wa al-Tashakwat.
Al-Tashakwat.
Al-Hayahanna.
Hayahanna.
Our Yab-Yaka.
Al-Yabika.
Yahama Yawan.
Yahama Yawan.
Wama Shanak Yaka.
Wama Shanayaka.
Nasha'awa.
Nasha'awa.
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash.
Al-Anyaka.
Al-Anyaka.
Ya'ai Rayamia.
Ya'ai.
Sawab.
Sawab.
Waya Taya'ai Tazawa.
Waya Tazawa.
Al-Tazapawanyaka.
Al-Tazapawanyaka.
Amawa.
Amara.
Nakawa.
Nakawa.
Wana Kakyadam.
Kakyadam.
Magoya.
Magoya.
Wala'a. Yazakar.
Yazakar.
Sham Yasharala.
Sham Yasharala.
Iwad. Kaya. Nawa Aitazawa. La. Yaka'adwa. Al-Yaka. Baraya. Yakarafwa. Halaya. Ahaya. Adawam. Wa Yashama'ai. Wa Yashama'ayawam. Mawa Abba. Wa Hagoya. Gabal. Wa Imawan. Wa Imalak. Palasha. Am Yashabia. Tazawar. Gum Ashawar. Nalawa. Imam. Yahweh. Hayawa. Zarawad. Labanya Lawat. Salah. I.S.U.P.K. Kamadia. Ka Sayasara. Ka Yabian. Banakar. Wayashwan. Na Shamadwa. Ba'ayan the Arab. Hayawa. Daman. La Adama. Shayatamwa. Nadayabmawa. Ka'irab. Wakazabak. Wakatazamanai. Ha Nasayakamwa. Ashar. Amara. Nayarasha. Nanawa. Na'awa. Alahayam. Alahaya. Shayatamwa. Kagogala. Kakwas. Napanya Waka. Ha'ash. Taba'ira Ya'ira. Wakala Abba. Talahat. Haryam. Kanta Wadatma. Basairaka. Waba Sawapafka. Taba'alam. Mala'a. Panyaham. Kwalawan. Wayabakwashwa. Shankar. Yahweh. Yabashwa. Wayaba'awa. Aya'ai. Wayaka-apawa. Wayabadwa. Wayada'aiwa. Kaya. Atha. Shamka. Yahweh. Labadka. Ayawan. Al-Ka-ha-arakaza.
In the English, keep not thy silence, O power.
Keep not thy silence, O power.
And be not still.
And be not still.
And, O power.
O power.
For lo.
For lo.
Thy enemies make a tumult.
Thy enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee.
And they that hate thee.
I've lifted up their heads.
I've lifted up their heads.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
They are taking crafty counsels against our people.
And consulted. Against thy hidden ones.
Against thy hidden ones.
They have said.
Come.
And let us cut them off.
And let us cut And let us cut them off from being a nation.
That the name of Israel.
That the name of Israel
may be no more in remembrance.
may be no more in remembrance.
For they have consulted together.
But they have consulted together
With one consent.
with one consent.
They have confederate against thee.
They are confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom.
The tabernacles of Edom.
And the Israelites.
And the Israelites.
Of Moab.
Of Moab.
And
Hagarene.
Gabal.
Gabal.
And
And
Ammon.
Ammon.
And Amalek.
And Amalek.
The Philistines.
The Philistines.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
A sword also is joined with those.
A sword also is joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah.
Salah.
Do unto them.
Do unto them.
As unto the Midianites.
As unto the Midianites.
As to Sisera.
As to Sisera.
As to Jabin.
As to Jabin.
At the brook of Kisa.
At the brook of Kisa.
Which perished at Endor.
Which perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like Oreb.
Make their nobles like Oreb.
And like Zahab.
And like Zahab. Yea.
Are their princes.
All their princes.
As Sabbath.
As Sabbath.
And as Almuna.
And as Almuna.
Who said. Let us take to ourselves.
Let us take to ourselves.
The houses of Yahweh.
The houses of Yahweh.
In possession.
In possession.
Of my power.
Oh, my power.
Make them like a wheel.
Make them like a wheel.
As the stubble before the wind.
As the stubble before the wind.
As the fire burneth the wood.
As the fire burneth the wood.
And as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
And as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
So persecute them with thy tempest.
So persecute them with thy tempest.
And make them afraid with thy storm.
And make them afraid with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame.
Fill their faces with shame.
That they may seek thy name.
That they may seek thy name.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Let them be confounded.
Let them be confounded.
And trouble forever.
And trouble forever.
Yea.
Yea.
Let them be put to shame.
Let them be put to shame.
And perish.
And perish.
That men may know.
That men may know.
That thou. Whose name alone is.
Whose name alone is.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
At the most high.
On the most high. Of all the earth. Blessing in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Wa Yahusha.
Wa Yahusha.
Wa Yaka Allah.
Wa Yahusha.
Wa Alahayim.
Wa Alahayim.
Matazabia. Alawak Yahanna. Ha Alawakya. Ha Saranya. Ha Patazayanya. Ha Kaayayanya. Wa Aquakyam. Yahweh. Bashem Yahusha. Shwala
In English, bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahusha.
And Yahusha.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
Men in general,
Yahweh. The general.
The captain.
The captain.
The
officers.
troopers.
The troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahusha.
In the name of Yahusha.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. Blessing. Blessed are you, Yahweh.
Blessed are you, Yahweh.
King of heaven and earth.
King of heaven and earth.
And all things living.
And all things living.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahusha.
In the name of Yahusha.
Listen to us now.
Listen to us now.
Right now.
Right now.
Send evil.
Send evil.
And curses.
Curse.
And punishment.
Punishment.
And destruction.
Destruction.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
That speak against us.
Speak against us.
Thy prophets.
Thy prophets.
The teachers.
Teachers.
The princes.
Princes.
The priests.
The priests.
The Israelite brothers.
The Israelite brothers.
And the school.
And the school.
Send evil.
Send evil.
And curses.
Curse.
And punishment.
Punishment.
And destruction.
Destruction.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
And shake loose.
Shake loose.
The treasure of the rich of Israel.
Treasure of the rich of Israel.
That refused to give to the school.
And refuse to get into the school.
Force their riches.
Force their riches.
To enter into thy sanctuary. Send evils and curses. And punishment and destruction. To the Edomites. And the nations. And their drug dealers. The court system. The prison system. Planned Parenthood. All the governments of our enemies. Amalek synagogues and armies. Roman Catholic Church. The Pope. Islam. Christianity. Egyptology. Militia. Ku Klux Klan. Aryan Nation. Skinheads. Posse Kamatazi. The gay movement. The lesbian movement. Spies. Workers of witchcraft. Nassau Space Program. Army. Navy. Air Force. Marine. Wall Street. Open up the internet. And the airways. The cable access channel. And the radio channel. Convict the spirit. of any of thy people that seek to stop us and bring swift destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way and try to stop us from broadcasting your word throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues. Cause them to go to and fro through the earth and consume them. Let the plague shake the house of the thief and the murderer. Let Yahushua, Michael and Gabriel come down with the flying saucers and punish all the heathen that come up against us as we speak thy word. Cause it to be known by all that it is the angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread through the media throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake at thy coming. In the name of the house, thank you always. So be it. Bless Israel. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Barak Lanawa, YAHANNA, Wahab Saparia, Barak Raba'ah, Magun, Yasharala, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Shawala Ahmad. What we just said was Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, bless us in Israel, in the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect Israel in the name of Yahushua. Thank you, so be it. Sign of Christ, Saul. All right, pop it up. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Imajim Shabbat, Imajim, Barak, Yahweh, that concludes the Sabbath service. Yajmatal Salagir. Hosanna in Christ. Anybody wants to be anointed? So we got to start.